Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast for the haunted attraction, haunted entertainment community. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. And we return once again. Happy Monday, or whatever day it is when you choose to listen to this. We don't set your schedule here. This is a podcast. It's on-demand media.
Yeah.
So we like to pretend.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes, happy day, whatever day it is. Hope that it finds you well, and for us, it's episode 136, which means it's divisible by 4. That means it's time to do
the news.
And we have a surprisingly large amount of news to get through today.
Yeah.
But first, the stuff that you are obliged to know legally upon entering this podcast. We are, of course, Haunt Weekly at hauntweekly.com. We are at twitter.com/hauntweekly, facebook.com/hauntweekly, and tinyurl.com/hauntweekly will take you to our YouTube channel where you can just simply hit play and listen to us fill your ear holes for something like a week and a half now worth of content.
That's a lot of Haunt Weekly.
If you choose to do that, please seek therapy before attempting. But anyways, yes, as we said, it's episode 136. It is time to do the news. But before we do that, we begin with conference reminders.
We
and
do.
You are the oddball, but this isn't even an episode.
Exactly.
This means I go first, correct?
Yes.
All right, coming up July 14th and 15th, meaning just a few days, people. In Ocala, Florida, it's the Southeast Halloween Enthusiast Convention at 2300 Southwest 17th Road in Ocala. Features a ghost walk tour and a costume ball. Learn all the details at SCHEC.com.
All right, then July 27th through the 29th, it's Room Escape Conference and Tour in Nashville, Tennessee at the Music City Center. They will be touring 8 different escape games, 2 tours of 4. Includes Extreme Escape Games, Live Minds Adventure Games, Escape Point, and Locked Murfreesboro. RoomEscapeShow.com for more info.
After that, July 28th and 29th, in Long Beach, California, it's Midsummer Scream Eek. At the Long Beach Convention Center features dozens of on-site haunted attractions and experience, including the largest Hall of Shadows in their history. Also features a Screaming Room Film Festival, midsummerscream.org for more information.
And then exactly right after that, like the day after.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, people.
July 30th, it's Seasonal Attraction Leadership Symposium 2018 in Long Beach, California. So in the same city even. It will be at the Queen Mary Hotel. It's put on by Haunted Attractions Network, aka Gantum Media. 6 keynotes with following discussions. HauntedAttractionNetworks.com for more info.
Yes, that sounds like a very, very good time indeed. All right. After that, August 5th and 6th, it's Scare LA in Los Angeles, California, the Los Angeles Convention Center West Halls, featuring Scarywood, a 60,000 square foot series of mini haunts that just sounds so awesome. Also features Float, an it-themed cinematic VR experience, and a film festival, a costume ball, and more. ScareLA.com for all the details.
All right, August 16th through the 17th, it's Halloween and Haunt Fest in Mesquite, Texas, which is near Dallas. It will be at the Mesquite Convention Center. Features Haunters Mixer, Zombie Paintball, a costume ball, a movie night, and they'll be touring the Munsters Mansion. Additional info's TBA. You can find out more at HalloweenandHaunt.com.
All right, August 18th in Jackson, New Jersey is Haunters Barbecue, hosted by the Jersey Devil Haunted Experience. Tickets just $15 in advance. Go hang out with some fellow haunters, eat some barbecue, drink some beer, do the usual stuff you do, right?
Uh-huh.
It's JerseyDevilHalloween.com for more information.
All right, then August 24th through the 26th, it is Mask Fest in Indianapolis, Indiana at the JW Marriott in Indianapolis. Features mask makers and makeup artists of all types, including Tom Savini. Maskfest.com for more.
Sounds like a lot of great conferences coming up. Something to do with the hot summer months if you don't feel like sweating away in your haunt the whole time. Just an idea.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we have a lot of news this time around. I don't think we're going to run long. A lot of these stories are pretty short, but a lot of it does beg discussion nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to jump into it. Now, one thing we will not be discussing is a lot of this coming Friday is Friday the 13th.
Yes.
And a lot of haunts are opening for it.
Yes, they are.
Good for you guys.
Yes.
Good for the press coverage you're getting. Even if you muck up my ability to find other haunted attraction-related news.
Right.
But seriously, good on you guys. We're actually doing a Friday the 13th celebration, too. We're getting some of our crew together, some people we know, some people we're trying to recruit, and we're doing a screening of Repo the Genetic Opera here at our house.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We actually just got the projector and all that working last night, so we're excited. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's just not enough room in this dimension. Every single haunt that I read is open, and I know I'd miss a ton. We will discuss one, but it's for another reason, as you'll see in a minute.
Right.
The primary story's elsewhere. All right, but we're going to start off actually with 2 items of local news for us here in New Orleans. Both of these are pretty interesting in their own right. We're having sort of a shake-up season in our region. It's getting kind of crazy.
Yeah.
For those who don't know the full story, and we'll just do the 15-second recap here. House of Shock, probably the biggest named haunt. Definitely the biggest haunt, but also the biggest name, the most nationally known haunt in New Orleans. Closed its doors last year. It was purchased by 13th Floor. We knew that they had not sold the name and the brand House of Shock, but they had sold the location and the stuff that made the House of Shock. So, we'd kind of been wondering. They promised us multiple times there was going to be a haunt at that location. And now they seem to be making some inches toward that happening, because earlier this week, they made a very subtle change to their Facebook page.
Yes.
House of Shock became the New Orleans Nightmare Haunted House. All they did is change the name of the Facebook page.
Yeah.
No post about it, no press release I found.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's just they changed the name of the Facebook page. All the content on the Facebook page is still there.
Yeah.
Including all the House of Shock stuff. So, there's that. But yeah, so that apparently will be the name of the what was the House of Shock when it reopens this season. Or when it reopens, period. So, that's very interesting.
It is. So we at least know the name now.
Yes, and it kind of messes us up.
It does.
Because we had been planning, and we've been planning it literally since last year.
Yeah, we told our crew last year, the theme this year was going to be
Nightmares. We were going to do a series of nightmares, and we still are.
Yeah.
But we're going to we're not going to advertise the nightmare side. We're going to advertise it as terrors.
Yeah.
Which I think actually kind of works a little better, because some of these aren't necessarily nightmares in the classic sense.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard to do things like falling in our haunt, and we've decided to stay away from drowning because that would just be too triggering for New Orleans.
With some PTSD on drowning issues,
yeah.
So we don't want to do anything with that.
Don't want to touch those buttons.
So yeah, we'd already been shifting away from the traditional, watch the Enter Sandman music video.
No.
Get a feel for the type of nightmares we were discussing. We're still including some of them, but it's going to be more of a broad terror, phobia type thing. It's going to be a little more broad.
Yeah, but focusing on terror.
Yeah, focusing on terror in general. So it's going to be cool. It's going to work out well for us, and I don't think it's going to be a real problem.
Yeah.
No changes have been made to the haunt because of it, basically. Just changes in the way we're marketing it.
Yep.
All right.
Good thing we hadn't ordered.
Yeah, good thing we hadn't made the flyers yet. It could have been awkward.
Yeah.
We thought about it.
We did.
Had a little extra cash.
We'll be doing it soon, but yeah.
We had a little extra cash, and we're if we order now, we can get these slow boat from China shipping and printing. And it's basically free, but we didn't do it, and I'm kind of glad we didn't now. Woo! Anyway. So, yeah. That's news there. House of Shock name has changed to New Orleans Nightmare House. That's all there is to know. But the other thing that happened is, and we're going to see more of this as we go through the news, Scout Island Scream Park, because with the House of Shock not opening, at least not as House of Shock, other haunts are either opening or expanding.
Right.
And we have been getting a deluge of reports of smaller attractions trying to open. So much we can't even keep track of who's who.
Right.
And it's all rumors, so we're not going to report it here until we get like a press release or something.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not going to talk about it here.
Yeah, they're trying to capitalize on the lack of the House of Shock.
And when this season is done, when the season is done and we have survived it, I want to come back here on the podcast and spend an hour talking about how this season was different from previous seasons because of the shakeups.
Okay.
I think that might be a very good thing because this is a tectonic shift in the industry. The House of Shock had been there for 25 plus years.
Yeah.
And had been the leading haunt, the leading name, and suddenly the brand is no more at the very least.
Yeah.
It's a major shift. Anyways,
it is.
Basically, Scout Island Scream Park is the Mortuary Haunted House. They are expanding to do a haunted Scream Park in City Park. And you have to understand, City Park in New Orleans is huge.
Right.
It is one of the largest municipal parks in the country, I believe. In fact, I think we have in New Orleans the first and third largest municipal parks.
Mm-hmm.
Bayou Sauvage is technically a municipal park, and it's number 1, if I remember correctly. And City Park, I think, is 3. It's that big. It's giant.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm wrong, I'm sure Crystal's Googling it so she can throw it in my face and prove me how wrong I am. But anyways, so they're doing a haunted Scream Park on Scout Island, which is a relatively small but still very big portion of City Park.
Yeah.
What's up?
City Park is 1,300 acres.
Oh, wow.
So that's the size of it.
Yeah. And Scout Park, percentage-wise, is very small.
Right.
Turn to land area is pretty damn big.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you got 1,300 acres. That's a lot of acreage, man. Anyways. But they have finally announced the zones that they are going to have.
Right.
And I gotta say, I'm a little more excited now after seeing this.
Me too. It looks fun.
Yeah, it looks fun. Okay. Let's just run down the list. The Blood Bayou Fright Zone, which is a pirate-themed area.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have the Horsemans Fright Zone, which is based on the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. That's the one I'm the little weirdest on.
Why?
Because everything else makes sense with New Orleans.
Yeah.
Sleepy Hollow has no connection to the city. I love Sleepy Hollow. I love the story.
I do too.
I love the story. I love everything about it, but it just has no connection. And it seemed like they were going for a New Orleans theme for most of it. And then they threw a curveball with that one.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Blood Bayou, yes, it's pirate themed. Pirates were in New Orleans, so that makes sense for New Orleans.
That's true.
Well, the Horseman's Fright Zone.
Yeah.
We do have horse riders in all of the parades.
That's true.
So if you're gonna just
there is a very strong horse riding tradition in the city. Yes,
there are, which you don't really think about because you don't see them outside of parades.
Yeah, and
except bizarre,
unless you live here and you see goddamn horses going down the side of the road. Maybe not all the time, but
in the neutral ground, they're just getting their exercise.
It's never a real surprise to see a horse when you go for a drive. How's that?
Yeah.
You don't see it every trip, but you see it often enough to the point you're not genuinely surprised.
Yeah.
Reasonable?
That's fair.
They also have the Zombie Outbreak Battlefield, which will be a zombie laser tag experience. I'll be curious about that one. We've only done one zombie laser tag thing.
Yeah.
It was fun. Exhausting, but fun. They also have Scream Factory, an area featuring clowns and vortex tunnels. I'm literally reading the description here from this article on Fox 8. And then there's the Paranormal Experience Zone, for which no details are available.
Mm-hmm.
General admission is $13 with an unlimited pass, $49. I'm guessing that general admission is per zone.
Right.
So you would have to get 5 of them or whatever, so you're better off buying the unlimited pass.
Yeah, that's what I plan on doing.
Yeah, that's what I plan on doing too. Get there early.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So anyways, I don't know. I'm really stoked reading this because it sounds like they do have a plan and a vision. I was worried because of the way this sort of seemed to come out of nowhere.
Right.
I mean, and I recognize they've probably been working on it and negotiating it for quite some time.
Well, yeah, because we've heard of how long the beignet battle's been going on. So yeah, this goes on behind doors.
Yeah, City
for
Park
a long time.
is known for its red tape, and this is one of the things to remember about City Park is it's a public park, but it's privately owned, or it's a private-public partnership. I think is the way it is.
Yeah, it's got some weirdness.
It's not just purely like a city-owned park. It's got its own division. It has to make its own money. And because of that, there's a lot of bureaucracy. And there's a coffee shop in the park that apparently has a very lucrative location.
Yeah.
Had no idea. And there was a 3-way battle to be the beignet shop of
City Park.
And it's a whole long thing. It's been going on for years. But the people who thought they'd won it and thought they'd put in the highest bid didn't show up to a meeting.
After they closed their only other location.
And then they got skipped over, and now Cafe Du Monde, the big dog in town, when it comes to beignets.
Yeah, I think that's the most recognizable.
Yeah, if you are not from New Orleans, that's the only beignet name you probably know in the city.
Yeah.
If you know any. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm very excited to see this and see how it goes. Honestly, I'm looking, like I said, we were driving this weekend, and I said how much I'm looking forward to the season with anticipation. Because it's just going to be, it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be off the hook, and, we know one haunt that won't be open, but we know of at least 3 others that are new, or at least are rumored to be new.
Right.
Plus you have the Scream Park. Yeah. And then you have whatever the hell's going on at the Old House of Shock.
Right.
It's going to be fun.
Plus all the rumors of all the other little ones popping up.
And some of those rumors have me very nervous.
Yeah, because I hope that people don't choose to go to one of the little pop-ups that's trying to cash in, get a horrible experience, and decide to never go to a haunted house again. Yeah,
that's my big fear with some of those, is because...
I have friends who that happened to.
And I've heard of that happening elsewhere in the city in previous years, where some guy has like an extra house or has like a double shotgun or something. Mm-hmm. Hey, we'll open up a haunted house here, and throws up a crappy vinyl, like even less than what we do apparently. Mm-hmm. At least we build a fire code, use panels, and do real stuff.
Yeah.
But they don't, and then they charge $30 for people to go through it, and it's just ridiculous.
Not cool.
So yeah, not cool. I'm hoping that's not what happens.
No.
I'm nervous about that, but excited about all this other stuff.
Right.
All right, let's get out of New Orleans. We've been in New Orleans far too long. Yeah. So anyways, this headline initially had me kind of worried because I thought we were dealing with more haunt consolidation, but that does not appear to be the story here.
Right.
The headline, which is from the Colorado Springs Independent, reads, Haunted Minds merges with Hellscream Entertainment reopens. I'm like, oh God, another random company buying a haunt. Never going to hear the end of it on our Facebook and our Twitter and whatever. Haunt Weekly on both, by the way. But yeah, we're never going to hear the end of it, blah, blah, blah. No, it turns out what happened is there was a haunt called the Haunted Minds near Colorado Springs. Mm-hmm. But it closed after the 2016 season. It was a charity haunt. It closed after the 2016 season. The outdoor structure was demolished. They've had to move on. However, the owners of it sold the brand and apparently at least some of the stuff in it to Hellscream Entertainment, which runs Hellscream Haunted House basically across town, is my understanding.
Yeah.
And so Hellscream, by sheer luck, had a space available on their property to put another haunt. They had opened up a haunt, had a 1-year run, didn't work for whatever reason, so they shut it down and they hadn't done anything with it in like 3 years. So they got an empty building on their property. That's something like 26,000 square feet or whatever. It's a pretty big building.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, buy the brand, take the stuff, move it in, set up the haunt, or at least something like the haunt there, and keep that attraction alive. And that's what they're doing.
Yeah. And they're opening for the first time this Friday.
Yes.
Which happens to be Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I'm very, very curious how this goes, because we've had this conversation before about debuting a haunt. Mm-hmm. On a out of season.
Yeah. Well, Friday the 13th does make more sense than Valentine's Day, depending on the area.
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
The one I think we wanted to debut.
Yeah, I couldn't remember exactly which one.
It was one of those holidays that, well, yeah, I can see why you'd run a haunt on it, but on the one hand, it's like, really? That's your debut day?
Yeah. Well,
kind of weird, man.
Well, on the other hand, it gets your actors practice before October.
Oh, yeah, and if there are any obvious problems with the haunt, you got a chance to correct it. So, a test run, if you will.
Exactly.
Maybe. So, I guess in that context, it makes sense. But, yeah, basically, one thing I find interesting is that the guests will go down the quote-unquote mine descender, which simulates going down a multi-100-foot mine shaft.
Yeah.
Which I believe will be something like the elevators at 13th Gate or something like that.
Yeah, no idea, but it sounds cool.
Sounds very cool. And then they'll come out and explore the fictional town of Colt Falls and all the horrors contained within it. It should be a lot of fun. Like I said, they're opening this Friday for Friday the 13th. Go check it out if you're in the area. Mm-hmm. It looks like a lot of fun to me. And honestly, I like this way of keeping an attraction going. It seems like the Haunted Mines was a beloved attraction. Mm-hmm. Just couldn't make it work for one reason or another. Yeah. Wasn't panning out. But this way, the brand and the material and the idea stays alive. Right. I think it's kind of cool. All right, let's examine what some of the big names in the industry are doing. We got back-to-back stories of some major players here. All right. First off, Disney has announced it is launching a Halloween-themed cruise. It is called Halloween on the High Seas, and it features, among other things, and I can't believe I'm about to say this sentence out loud, a Masquerade party. Yes. And a Nightmare Before Christmas sing and scream event. If you haven't turned off this podcast now, kudos to you. Good on you. Yeah. I applaud that. And it also had the usual trappings you expect from a cruise: good food, stuff to do, and like that. Blah, 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 blah. More family. Obviously, it's aimed at families with kids, specifically young kids. It's Halloween themed, but not super duper scary. And we'll be leaving in September, so it won't actually interfere with any Halloween plans. If you are interested in checking it out, they will have ships departing from New York City, San Diego, and Port Canaveral. God, why did I trip on that? That's an easy one. I don't know. Because it looks different than it sounds. It does. It really does. It's like, oh, I know that word. I've said that word before. Mm-hmm. Duh. So, yeah, there's likely a ship somewhere near you that will be departing on this cruise. Right. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest. I've never particularly cared for Disney's Halloween approach. Mm-hmm. I love their Haunted Mansion. Yeah. But it seemed... And they've reached, I think, peak kick-ass for me with Alien Encounters. Right. You've mentioned that before. Yeah, we did an episode on part of it, I think. It was easily, I think, the scariest, quote-unquote, haunted attraction I've ever been to, bar none. Yeah. And ever since then, it's been a slope of, hey, we got to make Halloween less and less and less and less scary. Right. And that's just another step down on it. I mean, Disney magic is a thing. I agree they can do amazing stuff. And when we say it as an industry, we shoot for Disney quality that has actual... cachet value, that means something. Mm-hmm. But man, I don't know. They've just been trying to steer Halloween more and more and more in that direction, and this just seems to... What the hell is a sing and scream event while we're on this topic? It just sounds horrible. Well, people who can sing, and people who can't usually sound like they're screaming. Fair enough. You know what? I don't know enough to tell you that you're wrong. Neither do I. But anyways, so yeah, that is coming up, and that is something to definitely be thinking about. Okay, we also have the latest announcement from Universal Studios and their Halloween Horror Nights. Right. This article is by IC Florida, which is a great name for a website, because it's literally the letters IC Florida, but anyway. They have announced their next haunt called Slaughter Sinema. Now, this is the first one they've announced that is not based upon a previous existing IP, because they announced like Stranger Things, right? Trick or Treat, a few others like that. This one is just based on 80s B movies. This is the haunt that speaks to me. Yeah. This is like the melding of the two sides of my horror lifestyle in one place. Mm-hmm. And I want to go so bad. Because it will include things like werewolf bikers, a deadly pumpkin patch, evil barbers, alien cannibals, and more. Sounds fun to me. Yeah, basically the idea is they are taking a bunch of fictional 80s B movies. To my knowledge, these movies do not exist. And if they do exist, they are like stupid obscure. Like even we don't know them. Mm-hmm. And basically making a haunt around them. Like I said, it's not teamed up around any intellectual property. It just uses the made-up movies. It looks so cool. And definitely this is one of the stories. Go to our show notes, hauntweekly.com. It's got links. Click the link and look at the art they made for it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks fun. I can't even really describe it. It looks exactly like a cheesy, stupid 80s slasher movie poster should. It's perfect. I think it was a pumpkin holding a knife.
Yeah, it was.
It's awesome. This really has me stoked. I just can't believe that this is a thing, and I need this in my life so bad. If anyone wants to buy me a plane ticket to Universal, now's your chance.
And apparently they start in mid-September.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, early enough that we could get out there, theoretically.
Yep.
All right. After that, we have an announcement from Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and their Hellscream event. They are opening Demented Dimensions Haunted House. Now, this is one they've done previously. They did it in 2017, and I believe earlier years, too. But basically, the idea here is this. Visitors will explore Sterling Manor. I guess Sterling Archer Manor. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
A haunted house built atop a dimensional vortex. Basically, it looks like a really, really cool haunted house. The article we're linking to, the Attractions Magazine, actually has a video of the walkthrough of the 2017 haunt. And it looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a good haunted house. It just looks like a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. They also announced the Fool's Court Territory, where the other areas have scare zones or whatever.
Right. They
have territories, because if you're running an event called Hellscream, you might as well double down on the puns.
Yeah, you should.
It's an area featuring jester characters. All total, there will be 7 haunted houses, including 3 new ones, and 6 scare zones, including 2 new ones. So Hellscream in Williamsburg, Virginia is looking to be pretty cool, too, if you're more close to that area. I'm sad that we are close to neither.
Yeah. I love that their video has someone being pushed through in a wheelchair, as we've talked about before.
Yeah. Like I said, it's the last thing we do.
Mm-hmm.
Get one of our actors, throw them in a wheelchair and say, you're going for a ride, buddy.
Yeah.
Or,
Or camera guy at this case.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It looks fun.
So, next story is a little bit of a sad one. It features McHenry County, Illinois. The McHenry area JCs are trying to raise money for their annual haunted house. Now, they had been operating for quite some time out of Knox Park Barn, mm-hmm. which they had apparently rented from the city for $10,000 per year. But they were forced to cancel the 2018 season. I think this is 2017 season.
Yeah, the 2017.
Yeah, I got it wrong in my notes. I'm fixing.
Okay.
2017 season, due to needing $30,000 to install a sprinkler system. This is a tale as old as time for haunters. Haunt needed a sprinkler system. They could not afford it or justify it in any appreciable way. And so they had to cancel the season. But now they are hoping to reopen in another location, ideally one that already has sprinklers and so forth installed. So they are attempting to raise money via GoFundMe, selling sponsorships to area businesses, and through button sales.
Yeah.
Now, the GoFundMe is not going particularly well.
It is not.
They have raised, it's been up according to GoFundMe about a month, but we're just now hearing about it. This article is pretty recent. Mm-hmm. But they've only raised $60 out of the $5,000 they're wanting from that source. But yeah, the basic problem they say they have is since they didn't open the haunt last year, they don't have the funds to find a new place and get started again. Mm-hmm. And this is always the danger with haunted attractions is, you have a weak year or you have to miss a year or miss key days out of a year. You may not have the funds you need to survive winter, spring, summer, mm-hmm. and come open next year.
Yeah.
And JC Haunt, that's just as true for JC Haunts as it is for commercial attractions.
Right, and I was just checking, the GoFundMe has been up since May 21st, and has not changed since the writing of these notes.
Yes. But yeah, basically they're trying to find a new place, but they have no funding because they didn't open Haunt last year, and therefore they're asking help from the public. I'm hoping they get more through sponsorships and other means.
Yeah.
JC Haunts are such an important part of haunted attraction history.
Yeah, they are.
They really are, and we talk every so often about the ones that have been open like 40 years and more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I'm 38, and the fact that there are haunted attractions that have been continuously operating longer than I've been alive
still
boggles my mind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's cool. I hope these guys are able to get the money. Good luck to them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now this new one this warms my heart. Because we had that whole talk not that long ago about dark rides.
Yes, we did.
And about how they were becoming extinct was the fear.
Right, and there's someone going through and recording them
with a 360
for
camera.
posterity.
Yeah, because the MO goes like this. Basically, dark rides are fairly expensive to operate. The parts for them are getting difficult. So when they break down, they're tough to repair. They don't make as much money as they used to.
Right.
The list goes on, the challenges with these types of rides. And here's the thing. I mean, I never thought of dark rides as haunted attractions necessarily back as a kid, but you play that game, my first series of haunted attractions were all dark rides. It's like state and county fairs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an intro.
I was on those when I was like 5 and 6,
Yeah, it's an intro.
It's an intro. It's a good way to get a feel for haunted houses. Well, Adventureland Theme Park in Farmingdale, New York has opened up a new one.
Yay!
This is awesome. It is the Mystery Mansion ride. It is a quote-unquote retro-style dark ride. It's a 2-minute trip through zombies, werewolves, skeletons, and more.
Sounds fun.
It's meant to be and they say it's meant to be more of a slow... it's meant to be scary like a haunted house can, but it's more of a soak-in ride than a thrill ride like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
They're very emphatic about that. This is a slow plot, like a dark ride.
Exactly.
It's like a dark ride, basically.
Maybe because it is a dark ride.
Maybe. It's like it is, right? It just kind of may be, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, this is great news. Now, the ride costs either $7.50, which that has definitely changed about dark rides since I was riding them regularly. But it's also included in the pay one price admission for the park.
Yeah.
So yeah, all in all, I'm happy to hear that they are still making it. I'm surprised to hear they found someone who could make them.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, you would think that the companies that specialized in making dark rides went the way the Dodo eons ago.
You would think, but there's been a resurgence and an interest in old style of technology. So,
well,
maybe somebody.
And I think part of the reason is, and I think haunted attractions in general can benefit from this. We have gone so heavy into a digital world.
Right.
That analog things are now a curiosity.
Yeah.
It used to be like when I was a kid, it was the other way around.
Yeah.
Everything was analog, and so anything digital was super, ooh, I gotta see that, I gotta check that out.
Right.
I remember going to the mall and seeing the kiosk, one of the first kiosks for virtual reality. This was like 20 years ago or more. I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And it was like Tron graphics, like polygons.
Yeah.
It didn't look anything like what you have to. This was the era like Doom, I think, had just come out.
Right.
And so basically it was all lines and polygons, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that whenever I started working at my current job, I walked in and the previous person had used old tech that they found in storage to decorate the office.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was like an iOmega zip drive.
Exactly. Yes, there was one. There was a zip drive reader.
You know, zip drives used to be the bee's knees, man.
Oh, God.
Well, if we're going to talk about it in old-timey terms, we're going to talk about it in old-timey terms.
Well, speaking about technology.
Yeah. Okay, this article is in Bloomberg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, while we're talking about digital stuff. It's called the Mori, M-O-R-I, Museum in Tokyo. It's the Mori Building Digital Art Museum. And it is the world's first all-digital museum. And it's being described by many as also part haunted attraction.
Yeah.
Because of the way it works. And basically the idea is this. If you walked into the building with house lights on and nothing else, you would have nothing but blank walls everywhere.
Yeah.
You'd have hallways and walls, and that'd be it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. But they have 100,000 square feet flooded with projections and sensors of various types to create digital art on every surface pretty much.
Right.
And much of it you can interact with.
Yeah.
For example, there's one hallway that's a transition between two pieces where there's lizards and froggies hopping on the ground and stuff, and you can step on them.
Yeah.
Either accidentally or on purpose.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's interesting because I know that they have the projection of the fish at the aquarium here.
And they swim around you and avoid you and stuff.
Yeah. It's a
like
good
a whole
thing
museum of that, huh?
Yes, it's a good thing that if you step on the fish, they don't squish. Yeah.
Well, your mom would have loved that.
God. Yeah.
Her mom is the only person I know, and we're getting this on record now,
I know.
who spends an entire day at an aquarium, goes to the little Burger King little food court area in the aquarium, goes to Burger King and orders a fish sandwich.
Yep.
It's like she was going through the whole aquarium getting hungry.
Yeah.
I could go for fish.
Yeah.
That's messed up. But anyway, back to the digital stuff. The museum includes no guides, no maps, nothing. It's meant to be free roam, find your own way from A to B.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool.
Tickets, if you are so inclined, are $29 for adults, $9 for children. Of course, it's not dollars, it's yen, but, that's more relevant. The price has been converted to American for us, U.S. dollars for us.
Okay. I'm like, 29 yen?
No. 29 yen is like
I know.
5 cents or something.
Exactly.
I have no
That's
idea,
why you were confusing.
Sorry. Sorry. I guess it's just kind of how I am sometimes.
Yeah, it's alright.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think this idea is pretty cool.
I do too, and I think that the technology can definitely be utilized in haunted houses, especially in... Like, they have this one room that's pictured at the top of the article that's lily pads with people standing in it. I can totally see that replacing the fog swamp area.
Yeah.
And have one of the actors be real and everybody else be holograms.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
It would be interesting. We're seeing more and more digital effects in haunts, and we're seeing heavier and heavier use of projectors. I mean, even we now have 2 projectors.
Right. We haven't used them yet.
One's getting a workout Friday.
Yeah, but that's for a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do have plans for it in the haunt. And we did use a projector previously to, it was displaying its production on the actual scare.
Yeah.
So it was the distraction.
Yeah. It was meant to get you to look at the scare, so when that screen went away, boom. And also it was really handy because the actor on the other side of that screen knew when to drop it, because the people would inevitably block the light of the projection. So once it went dark, boom, dropped it.
Yep.
It was easy peasy.
Yeah.
Anything to make the timing easy for actors.
Right.
The easier you make it, the less training they need, the less time it takes to get into the role, blah, blah, blah. All right. So, yeah, that's an interesting looking museum. And the photos, once again, this is another good one to go click the link on. Make it look really, really interesting. And like I said, we can definitely see some of this happening in haunts.
Right.
Here's hoping that this technology actually benefits the industry.
Yeah.
All right, moving along. The last of the actual news stories this week. But this one deals with the St. Rita School for the Deaf's Haunted House in Cincinnati. Basically, this was a building that was put up sometime before the Civil War. It's not exactly clear when.
Right.
It had been renovated in 1977, where it became the haunted attraction that supported St. Rita School for the Deaf, but it operated until 2015 when it closed. And it's a similar situation to what happened to the JCs we just talked about.
Right.
The repairs needed and the maintenance needed on the building just got to be too much. It's a building that's hundreds of years old. Of course, it's going to be problematic.
Right.
But yeah, it simply got too expensive. They couldn't keep it up, and so they shut down. They apparently didn't move or anything like that. They just simply closed their doors. But now the building has been completely demolished.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
It is sad.
Now, one cool thing is if you do have memories, if you're from this area and you have memories of it, St. Rita School is selling bricks from it. So you can literally own a couple of pieces from this haunted house if you so choose.
Yeah, I would consider doing that. Because I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, if a lot of places start closing, it'd be kind of cool to have a memento room of all the places that have gone past that we haven't been able to go to.
Yeah.
Or that we have.
Well, and it's interesting. I was thinking about this. St. Rita's School for the Deaf reminds me a lot of Chinchuba's.
Right.
Here
it's
locally.
Very similar story.
And very, very similar reasoning for everything, too.
Exactly.
Yeah, Chinchuba's Haunted House was a charity haunted house that supported a local school for the deaf.
Yep.
They were here on the West Bank on our side of the river, over on Barataria. And they were open for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't think they were there as long as House of Shock, but it could not have been much less.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
They were there for a very long time. They managed to open for a couple of weekends the year of Hurricane Katrina, 2005.
Right.
But I don't think they opened the next year.
Mm-hmm.
I think the building they were in required too much repair and too much work and damage from the storm combined with just, aging buildings.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they couldn't maintain it. They couldn't keep it up. They just closed. But they had survived a lot. They'd even survived a lawsuit, remember? They were sued for injuring a patron one.
Right.
They managed to survive that and keep going. But, yeah.
Well, I know that the Institute itself had been open for 120 years.
Yeah, I don't think the haunted house had been.
I don't think
obviously
so.
not 120 years.
Yeah. But the whole thing had to be shut down.
Yeah. The Chinchilla Institute did too?
Yeah.
Wow. I did not realize that.
I didn't either until I was trying to find the beginning of the haunt.
That's even more sad now. It was a good charity.
Yeah.
Well. And our final story this week actually isn't really haunted attraction news, just something that's meaningful to the two of us as nerds, because we spent a significant portion of our weekend in the upstate visiting Crystal's family.
Right.
And as we are wont to do when visiting family, the conversation turned to haunted houses and haunted attractions.
Yeah. Well, Mom suggested it to us.
Yes.
She said, if you have...
1.5 million.
Yeah. Exactly. 1.5 million. You can buy the plantation that's for sale.
Yeah. We have 1 point. But basically, this is from an article from the Town Talk, which is actually the name of the Alexandria, Louisiana newspaper. Please, just drop it. But Lloyd Hall is a 200-year-old plantation home near Cheneyville, which Cheneyville's about north and west of Alexandria.
Yeah.
It's a very, very small town outside of an already small town. Like, most people don't even know where the hell Alexandria is. It's in the dead center of the state of Louisiana.
Right.
Ask Jim Cornette. He'll tell you where it is.
Yeah.
And probably throw in a few obscenities to describe on the way. But anyways, so yeah, it's in the center of the state, and this was northwest of it. But yeah, basically, Lloyd Hall's 20-year-old plantation home, it was supposedly built by William Lloyd, an exiled member of the Lloyds of London family, which is weird because the Lloyds are spelled different.
Yeah.
William Lloyd had one L. Lloyds of London, of course, has two L's.
Maybe he dropped it
Maybe
he was
it's like the Addams Family routine, the 2D Addams and the 1D, that whole thing. Maybe it's like that. Supposedly, Lloyd acted as a double agent during the Civil War. He was tarred, feathered, and hanged by Union troops on the property. However, it's not just he who died there. Several other ghosts are reported to be there too, including a Union deserter that was shot there, and so on and so forth. Now, there was 10 buildings on the property for sale, totaling about $31,000. I mean, 31,000
square feet.
Lord, Jonathan.
I know.
31,000 square feet in space, all for sale for $1.527 million. This is the thing. We have been hearing more and more about haunted attractions opening in that part of the state.
Yeah.
In fact, every year we make... It's kind of weird when we do our haunt visits. We obviously hit everything locally that we can. That's easy for us.
Right.
We try to make one big out-of-state trip.
Right.
This year, tentatively planning Chicago.
Yes.
Last year was Atlanta. So we tentatively are going to do that. And we also do one field trip, I guess you would call it, per season.
Right.
Where usually we go to like Mississippi or to Alabama or Texas or something nearby. I think this year our field trip should be staying in Louisiana and checking out some stuff in the northern part of the state.
Yeah, that's my plan. We've been up a few times, but the ones that we had visited have closed, and now new ones are open. There's at least 2 new haunts, and one that we haven't, that's on the way that we haven't visited in a few years.
Yeah,
the trail haunt near Lafayette.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's always interesting because 13th Gate obviously got their start in Alexandria.
Right.
Or at least a significant portion of their start in Alexandria. Yeah. Louisiana Nightmares was a haunt right there in the heart of downtown Alexandria.
Yes.
Which apparently someone drove a car through that old building.
Last week.
Dwayne, if you're listening, good move getting...
You left some ghost or something.
You left some bad juju behind, man. Dude, what the hell? So the thing about it is, it's not like it's I don't know how you drive a car in that building.
No.
It's like the only city-like part of Alexandria, like stoplights and stuff.
Yeah.
Driving a car into that should be damn near impossible.
Yeah. It should be. But
anyway.
People find a way.
Someone right up the road here drove a car into 2 houses.
Yeah. Not sure.
How?
Yeah.
You hit one, you screwed up bad enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's...
I wonder if they thought that between the houses was a road or a driveway, and that the houses are just that close.
Wow, that's an interesting hypothesis. But we've been hearing more about haunts opening up in that area in towns like Natchitoches and Alexandria, Winfield, etc. Right. And we're eager to check those out because, rural haunts for us have always been kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes they go really well, sometimes they go really bad.
Right.
I guess that makes them no different than city haunts.
Yeah, this is true.
The only difference is the drive out to see them is much greater.
Yes.
The risk involved is much greater.
Yeah,
but
so
anyway.
it looks like there's going to be a lot of new haunts for us to look at this season, which we're really excited about.
Yeah, both locally and elsewhere in the state.
Yep.
So yeah, it's going to be a busy, busy haunt season for us. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited.
Yeah.
Saving up money now.
Yes, we are.
Fucking better.
Yeah.
Gonna be expensive.
It always is.
Yeah, well, you spend your money on what you love, right?
Exactly.
Well, on that note, everyone, thank you very much for spending the past hour with us. Greatly appreciate you letting us into your lives. Once again, we are Haunt Weekly at hauntweekly.com, Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook. Definitely take the time to check out tinyurl.com/hauntweekly to go to our YouTube channel. We have playlists. We have all the previous episodes up. You can just go through, and if you have YouTube Premium or whatever, there's no ads or anything. Just go and listen to it, and let us be your background to your life for as long as you can stomach us. But on that note, everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this was Haunt Weekly, episode number 136, talking about the news. We will see you guys next week.